Imagine if every YouTube video you publish could instantly be turned into 6 social media posts, all properly formatted to match each platform's algorithm, with no copy pasting and no rewriting. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact make.com workflow that watches your YouTube channel for new videos, grabs the transcript and automatically turns it into posts for LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, your email newsletter and more, each one written exactly the way the platform likes it. I've used automations like this to scale my own reach and bring in high-value leads worth over $25,000 each, without spending tons of extra hours on content. So let me show you step by step exactly how it works so you can build it for yourself. Let's start here with YouTube, and let's assume that on my YouTube channel I've published a new video. So let's just take a look. What is my latest video? This one has just been published. It's called How I Stopped Missing 10K plus leads using this make automation. Let's grab this one and run it through this workflow and see how it comes out as social media posts. This one is not actually on at the moment, so I'm going to start it manually just so we have full control. So we're going to choose where to start. Because we're starting this manually, we need to do that. So if we choose manually, this allows us to look through all the videos that I've published on my YouTube channel and just choose what we want to start with. But there are different settings here, so you could have it set up to check your YouTube channel every day and grab the latest video and turn that into social posts. So it's totally flexible. So I'm just going to pick the first one here and press save, and then we're going to run this automation and get it to convert this video into social posts. Okay, as you can see, it's already hit Dumpling AI, and this is now extracting the transcript from this video. There are other options, alternatives to Dumpling here, like you can use a ChatGPT Whisper module to do that, but I find that sometimes if the video is long, the module doesn't have enough capacity to work on it. So that's why I'm using Dumpling here in case there's a long video that needs to be transcribed. Okay, so as you can see now, it's going into the Claude module for LinkedIn and it's creating a LinkedIn post, and that is stored in Airtable. It's now transferred onto the branch for Facebook, and it's creating a Facebook post in the same way and storing that in Airtable. Now it's completed that, and it's in the email branch, and it's writing an email newsletter based on this YouTube video, which is really cool. Very useful, actually. So it might take a bit of time to do that because an email newsletter is usually longer than typical social media posts. But that's been done, and that is now in the Airtable. And the final one is creating a thread for Twitter. So that's going to be 9 to 10 tweets all linked together with a hook at the beginning. Those are all stored in Airtable now, and it's pinged us in Slack to let us know that they're ready. Let's just go over to Slack. Social is the channel where they are, and here we go. We've got a message just now, 10:53, saying that your social posts are ready for review, and this should take me straight to the place where they're located. Yeah, here we go. The original title, How I Stopped Missing 10K Leads Using This Make.com Automation. So we know which one is being repurposed here. Then we've got the date, which is right now, today, and the text of the post and the source that it came from a YouTube video. I'm going to use this also to store blog posts, so it's good to differentiate them. So let's just quickly take a look at that text. Yeah, every minute you delay responding to a new lead lowers your conversion chances. I learned this the hard way. I think this is very cool. I would be able to use that in my LinkedIn without too much editing. It has a call to action here, want the full template, so that you can use this as like a lead generation post on LinkedIn and just share the template with the audience and get them to comment to get the template. So that's LinkedIn. Let's have a look at the Facebook post version. Again, here's the original title. And here's the text of the post. It's a little bit more clickbaity in style, a bit more storytelling. So yeah, this is more Facebook ready, and it's quite short as well, which is great. An email newsletter now, let's take a look at that one. Okay, so it's got a nice subject line with numbers and timeframes in there, which are usually really good for open rates. It's telling a story here. It's got headings that we can use to chop up the email, make it easier to scan. It's longer than the other two because an email newsletter is typically longer and more like a story. It ends with a call to action to book a free call, sending people in as potential leads. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like how these are going, actually. They've really nailed the tone pretty well. And then that is the beauty of Claude. It's great for that. Finally, let's look at the tweets. Okay, so it's got tweet 1, the hook. And then it goes into the thread here, which basically just chops up the process and goes through it tweet by tweet. And there we go, tweet 10, close, and a call to action to follow me. I think this is actually really good. I don't use Twitter anymore that much, but if I did, this would be excellent and I wouldn't really need to edit it too much. That's how it looks in the wild. Now I'm going to jump in and build it from scratch and walk you through exactly how to set up each of these modules. All right, here we are in make.com. I'm going to hit create scenario and we're going to jump in and build this all from scratch. We need to start with the YouTube module. And we're looking for watch videos in a channel, which is going to be our trigger. Here is my YouTube connection. You need to add yours here if you haven't already done so. And to find our channel ID, we can go here and we can put in the name of our channel. And mine is Dr. Samantha North. There we go. And it will automatically find our channel ID from this. And we'll go for the limit here to be just one post. And we'll just save that as it is for now. Now, next, you'll find that this YouTube module does not actually grab the YouTube URL. What we're going to need to do is set a variable to construct that. Okay, I'm going to call this get URL. And what we need to do is add the ID of the video to the rest of the string. So I'm just going to grab it from here. This is the ID right here, and this part is the part that always stays the same. So we are just going to get that, and we are going to put it in there, and then build that with the video ID that comes from the YouTube module, and save that. So let's just click save, and that's the first part of the automation done already. Next up, we are going to add a dumpling module because we need to now grab that URL that we've constructed, and we need to get the transcript so we can run our AI modules on that transcript. So to do this, we're going to find the dumpling module here, dumpling AI. Basically a toolkit. I think there's a lot of different stuff they have, but it has a very useful transcribing tool here. So we're going to get that. So you'll have to add a new dumpling AI connection. That will probably mean signing up on their website. So the YouTube video URL is coming from get URL right here. Yeah, we'll include the timestamps. Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. So let's skip that. Preferred language is English. Yeah, that's all we need to do. So let's save that. And we've got the first part pretty much mapped out. Okay, so now we've got the transcript. We need to route it to 4 different pathways so we can operate on it with our AI modules. So we're going to add a router here. It's going to be 4 branches. So we're just going to do this, set the first one up first, and then we're going to clone it because that's the fastest way to do it. So this will be an Anthropic Claude module. Create a prompt. Okay, right here. And we're going to use the Claude Sonnet 4 model, which is my preference. I always go for the most up-to-date version of Sonnet. Max tokens, let's say 4,000. In case the transcript is long, that should give us enough to complete it. Let's click use it, and then we'll go over here and we'll grab the prompt. This is for LinkedIn to start with. I'll also put these prompts in the description so you can grab them and adapt them for your own purposes. It's quite a long one, but let's grab it right here. The reason why this works so well is primarily in the prompt, right? I've put a lot of effort into giving it the right examples and the right instructions to make it produce a really good post. Content type is text, and then the actual text of the prompt is right here. So we've just copy pasted that all in, and we just need to make sure it has the right transcript to work on. Let's just make sure that's correct. Yeah, coming from dumpling. Okay, so let's save that. And then next up, I'm going to add an Airtable module. And we will need to create the Airtable as well, but let's just add that module in. Well, it's probably a good time to create the new Airtable demo. So let's just jump into our Airtable here. Click build an app, and we're going to call this social posts YouTube demo, because there's also already another one. Okay, so we've given it a title, and this is really going to be a very simple one. We're going to have 4 different tables. We're going to set them up as follows. So first of all, this is going to be video title, so we can keep track of which video we're pulling from. Next, we're going to have date. Save. Then we're going to have post text, and we'll select long text for that one. And we're going to delete the rest of these because we don't need them. So delete. And we could have post type here. Post source again. In case you want to do either YouTube or blog. So let's say YouTube here, and let's say blog post here, in case you want to have another automation feeding blog post repurposements into this same workflow. Yep, that's fine. Let's just save that. Okay, we've got 4 fields. So now all we need to do is duplicate this, and again, and one more time. This is the fastest way to do it because it gets a bit fiddly. And this one is now going to be Facebook. This one is going to be email newsletter. Didn't want to hide it. Show it. Rename. There we go. Finally, Twitter. Okay, so there we go. We've got our Airtable all set up. So let's jump back into make.com and continue building the automation. Zoom in a little bit. So I have selected the Airtable Create a Record module because we want to populate this table with a new record each time a new post gets created. So let's find that base. I think it's in this one. Again, you'll need to add your own connection to Airtable here. Social posts, YouTube demo 2. That was the name of our new base. And table will be LinkedIn because the first branch is going to be for LinkedIn. So the first piece of data we need is video title. Let's pull that directly from the YouTube module. For the date, we can give it today's date. So now, post text. Now that is going to come from the AI because that is what has been generated for us. So we're going to select text response from Claude, and then post source. We're going to deselect map, and this way we get a drop down with the 2 options that we already set up in Airtable, and we're going to select YouTube. Okay, and that should be everything. That's all set up. We'll click save, and I'm just going to change the name of this one to LinkedIn. So we know it's a LinkedIn. Create LinkedIn post. There we go. Great. Okay, so now that's really the difficult part done, and now we just need to clone these branches for the other social media posts and types that we need. So I'm going to delete that one and just going to directly clone this one. You see it automatically connects right there. I'm going to clone Airtable and hook those 2 up. I'm going to rename this one as Facebook post. Save. Clone again. Make sure it connects. Clone again. I really love the clone function. It's super useful. This is going to be email newsletter. There we go. One more clone. Make sure it's connected. There we go. This could be a good time to click the auto align, which puts them all in a nicely lined up arrangement. Then we click clone on Airtable and finally hook that up and change the name. So bad at typing these days. Okay, so now you might remember that we haven't actually set these up properly, that these are just copies. So we need to make sure they have the right prompt inside them. So everything else is the same as the first one, which is great. Let's go back and grab our Facebook prompt. And we just need to paste it down here, copy that, get rid of it, paste the new one in, and make sure it's got the right transcript. I always do this fresh in case it's got one from an older automation. Perhaps it's been copied over or something. There we go. That just makes sure everything's accurate. Click save. And then we go to Airtable and we make sure it's going into the right table. So for this case, it would be LinkedIn instead of maybe Facebook instead of LinkedIn. Okay. And then we just have to go through the same thing we went through again with title, with date. Post text again is coming from Claude. And post source is going to be YouTube. And then we hit save. Okay. We do the same thing for our email newsletter. We go to prompts. We grab this. It's a long prompt because it has an example from one of my real emails here. And you can do the same thing with one of yours. Copy that, get rid of this, replace it with that text, and then just make sure that transcript is pulling from an up-to-date module in our current workflow. There we go. Set up the Airtable again. This is for email newsletter, so we're going to change the table to be email newsletter. And again, title from here, date, post text, which is coming from Claude, post source, which is coming from YouTube. So we'll just label that as YouTube. Click save. And finally, the last one from Twitter. Go to the prompt. Grab the final prompt here, get that, select this, paste that in, make sure it has the right transcript, Click save. And then finally, just the last one for Airtable, we have to select the tweets, Twitter, and make sure the right fields are all hooked up. A little bit repetitive, but at least it's straightforward to understand. Post source is YouTube. Save. Okay. Final piece of the puzzle, kind of optional, but I like it, is just to add a Slack module. It could also be an email module if you prefer to get notified by email. Good to have a way of letting you know that the posts are ready. So I'm going to create a message, select the Slack module and create a message. Make sure it's connected to your Slack. If you don't already have one, you'll have to set up a new Slack account. And then let's look for the list of channels. What have I got here? We'll go for one in marketing. Yeah, social. Posts are ready to review. Please click the link to see them. And then for the link, I'll just go over to Airtable, grab the link to this Airtable. This is how we do it. Make sure that we enable the share to the base, and then get the link here, click it to copy, go back to Slack and just put that in. I don't need anything else in Slack. We just click save. And there we go, everything's set up. Make sure you save that. That's all done. You can set it to run at regular intervals if you want. Personally, I would probably set it to run. Well, it would depend on my YouTube publishing schedule, right? Let's say I published once a week on a Monday. I would set it up to run on a Monday at a time after which I knew my YouTube video would be published, for example. You don't want to have it running every 15 minutes if you're not publishing videos that fast, because that is going to waste credits on make.com. So yeah, up to you depending on your YouTube schedule. Or you can also choose to run it manually. Like once you've already published a YouTube video, you can come into Make and just hit run once, and that will grab that video and publish your posts from it. So it's totally up to you. It all depends on what your process looks like. Now, every single YouTube video you publish can instantly get turned into 6 platform-ready social media posts. And if you want to grab the exact make.com template that you saw in the video, I've linked to it in the description below, and it's completely free of charge. And if you want to go further, I'm in the process of building a private AI automation and visibility community, where I'm going to share behind-the-scenes builds like this, plus all my strategies to actually turn automation into revenue. You can find the waitlist link in the description as well. If you found this video useful, I'd love it if you could hit like and consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments what automation you'd like me to build next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.